Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Tyler. You may recognize me from the channel Machinery Talk. This channel was an idea my stepdad and I had about 6 months ago. And it finally came to be. So here it is. On this channel you'll find stuff we're doing around our land and in our shop. I'm in the shop right now. Forgive this mess. It's winter. We can't really do anything outside. We're in the middle of a winter storm right now. Snow's still coming down. So over on the other channel from now on, you will only see things involving machinery. So today I'm going to be going over what not to do when cutting down a tree. I think there's 13 things I'm going to say, but I'm not sure. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Videos on this channel will be uploaded every Tuesday and Saturday. Videos on the other channel will be Sunday and Thursday. So when felling a tree, it's imperative that you take necessary precautions to keep you and the things around you safe. Number one, don't forget the safety gear. Safety is not a throwaway word when it comes to felling trees and running chainsaws. You must take it seriously. There are a few absolutely essential safety gear items you need to wear for any chainsaw work. Buy safety gear and wear it. Chainsaw chaps will usually stop a moving chain and save your leg, or at least prevent the saw from going all the way through your leg. Flesh is soft, chainsaw will gobble that right up. A helmet with a face screen and ear protection is a convenient way to keep head, eye, and ear protection handy in one comfortable package. You're going to want safety glasses or mesh goggles. Those will stop anything that passes through the screen or comes in from the sides or the bottom of the screen. You want to wear steel-toed boots to protect against things that may fall onto your foot while cutting down a tree. You'll find these things almost anywhere that sells chainsaws or outdoor power equipment. Tractor Supply has a pretty good selection of steel-toed boots. Both of the pairs of boots that I wear are from Tractor Supply. I've got a pair of Schmidt work boots that are steel-toed. And these are the boots that I'm wearing right now are Ariat. And they are steel-toed. Number two, don't use a chainsaw that should be retired. Cutting down a tree is no small task, and it requires a powerful tool. To keep you and your helpers safe during the project, be sure that the chainsaw is in tip-top condition. Make sure you've got a clean air filter. Make sure your chain's sharp. Make sure your chain is properly tensioned. If your saw is past the point of repair, it's worth buying a new one. We've got a saw sitting on the bench over there. It's not beyond the point of repair. It's beyond the point of repair that we are capable of. We got to bring it to the dealer. They've got to put a new chain brake mechanism on it, and we just don't feel comfortable ripping into the saw to do that. Number three, don't work alone unless you've been doing it for a while and you're comfortable, you know what you should be doing. You'll be a lot safer if you have a trusted assistant standing a few feet behind you, watching the top of the tree for falling branches and letting you know when the tree starts to fall. Have your assistant yell timber when it's time to vacate the area. Timber is one of those universal terms, and when it's yelled, you know that a tree's going down. So timber, tree's going down, and people should know that. Especially if they live in an area like this where a lot of people cut down trees because their houses are heated by firewood. So number four, don't just wing it. Do your research on how to safely cut down a tree or have someone demonstrate. I've been doing this. I'm currently in my mid-teenage years. And I've been doing this since I was 11 or 12. I cut down my first tree. I've been using a battery chainsaw since I was like 6. So I'm comfortable with chainsaws. I'm comfortable with trees. I'm not saying I'm the most experienced person. If you want experience about chainsaws, check out Outdoors with the Morgans or Wrangler Star. Wrangler Star's been messing around with trees his whole life. and he's got much more experience than I do. Um, so, and before you lay a finger on the saw, stand back, size up your situation. I usually take about 5 to 10 minutes before doing anything, figuring out where I want to fall the tree and how I'll cut it up after it falls before I even lay a finger on the saw. Think about how you cut each branch and what will happen when you do. So, number 5, don't lean a ladder against a tree and don't operate a chainsaw while you are on a ladder. If you're going to pay attention to any one of these safety tips, this is the one you got to pay attention to. I've seen so many videos of guys standing on ladders trying to chop off the top of a tree, getting knocked back and falling and hurting themselves. So don't do this. It might be tempting to lean a ladder against a tree to do some light pruning. Don't do it. This stunt causes a large percentage of chainsaw-related injuries. Number 6, don't lose your grip. Never take either hand off of a running saw. If the saw kicks back, there will be nothing there to stop it. Make sure your thumbs are wrapped around the handles. Number 7, don't attempt to cut down a rotten tree. Leave the rotten trees to the pros. If the heart of the tree is extremely rotted out, the felling direction can be extremely unpredictable. In addition, it most likely has many dead limbs above that just might shake loose and land on you during cutting. Number 8, don't use a dull chainsaw. Dull chainsaws are slow and dangerous. You'll be able to tell that it needs sharpening once the chips become very small. Number 9, don't forget to recheck chain tension. Before starting, check the chain tension. Recheck it after every hour of your use or so. Loose chains can fly off the bar, causing serious injury, face, chest, stomach. So, yeah, make sure your chain's good. Loose chain also damages the bar and prevents the chain from fitting back into the groove. Number 10, don't DIY around power lines or near structures. You're not going to hear anything from me near structures. I cut down trees near structures. There was a tree right behind the garage that I cut down this past summer. But you will hear stuff from me about power lines. Leave that to the power company or a pro. If there's even a small risk that you won't be able to fell a tree away from power lines, it's not worth the attempt. Call a pro. Number 11, don't cut in the kickback zone. This spot called the kickback zone is the top half of the bar's tip. 1 second. I'll grab a chainsaw for you to see. I'll even grab a Sharpie and label it. So 1 second here. Gotta grab the saw. Oh, perfect. There's still a little bit of white paint left on this bar for me to label it. So this area that I have sectioned off right there, that is the kickback zone. And it's very dangerous to cut in the kickback zone. If the kickback zone comes in contact with something while the chain is moving, the saw will kick up and back toward you. That's why modern chainsaws are equipped with a chain brake designed to stop the chain if a kickback occurs. And let me just grab the saw again to demonstrate. So here, chain brake's on. I can't move the chain. Chain brake's off. I can move it. So say this saw is running. I hit something in the kickback zone. I cut with something in the kickback zone. It kicks up. It's coming back towards my head. The chain brake is going to hit my wrist. And it's going to engage and stop that chain immediately. So that, your saw doesn't have that. You're going to hear from me. Buy a new saw or try to get one put on there. So yeah, number 12, try not to pinch the saw. When cutting up your felled tree into smaller pieces, the saw can become pinched if you cut too far through a branch that supports the trunk. So if you've got a branch like this, and you're cutting right here, and this is the ground right here, that is going to pinch your bar. You won't be able to get the chainsaw out unless you have some piece of machinery to lift that tree up. So if this happens, stop the engine and use a stout branch as a lever to lift the trunk and free the saw. And last but not least, number 13, don't cut the ground unless you have a carbide tip chain, which are expensive. So I'm not assuming many of you, if you're first time saw owners, have. When cutting up a felled tree, avoid touching the ground with the chain because even a brief encounter will severely dull the cutting teeth on your chainsaw. If possible, cut partially through the tree and then rotate it to cut the rest of the way through. I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you again tomorrow on Machinery Talk. Then on Tuesday back here. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment for video suggestions or any questions you may have. Share these with your friends and check us out on Facebook. Until next time, bye for now.